Welcome to the first video for English grammar. In this video we're going to look at the smallest building blocks in a structure of a sentence. Grammar is of course about the structure of sentences, and the smallest building blocks in sentences are the words. Now we're actually particularly interested in what kind of category these words belong to, and that's what we call the lexical categories. So the smallest syntactic units in a sentence are the lexical categories. That's different categories that words can belong to. And in English we find the following main categories: nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions and determiners. There are some other categories including conjunctions, quantifiers and particles that we'll see something about in this module. And then you've got some more categories such as exclamations like ouch or aw. Now they don't really form part of the structure of sentences, so we're not really going to be concerned with them. Now when you think about the words in sentences, the normal thing is to think about the meaning of the word. So if you take a word like star, then it means something like this picture. And usually when you've been taught grammar in school, then you may well have been taught what the categories are in terms of their meaning. So often children are taught that nouns are naming words and verbs are doing words, those kind of rules. Now actually they're not very good predictors of what category a word belongs to, and we're not going to be using them. So if you've got those in your head, try and get them out. We will look at some other sorts of evidence to work out what category a word belongs to. And in the first place, that's morphological evidence. Now morphology is the study of the structure of words. So inside words, rather than having words as the basic building blocks as we do in grammar. Now, and if you take a word like star, you can say one star, but you can also say millions of stars. And then there's this S stuck at the end of star, and all of a sudden it doesn't just mean one star, but it means more than one. So the S indicates what we call plurality. It makes the word plural, and then it expresses that there are more than one. Now the interesting thing is that S can only be stuck at the end of nouns. So you can only have nouns where you can have one or more than one. And so that's a good test to find whether a word is a noun, is to see if you can stick the S at the end of it. So that's a use of morphological evidence to decide what category a word belongs to. The other kind of evidence we'll use is distribution in a sentence. So if you take something like there was a star above our heads, that's perfectly fine, but their star was above our heads is not fine. And that little star here indicates that the sentence is in fact ungrammatical. Now, why is that? Why is this sentence ungrammatical? Well, because you've got in the first sentence, in front of star, you've got that word and needs to be followed by a noun. And that's why the first sentence is fine. The second sentence, of course, the noun is in a different place. You have followed by above, and above is a preposition, and so the sentence is ungrammatical. So that's how we can use distribution in a sentence to work out what category a word is. Now, you may think, well, it's still okay to think about meaning, and I'll show you where this can be quite tricky. So here we've got the dog will walk to Madrid, or the dog went for a walk. What have we got here? Are they two instances of the same word or two different words? Now if you think about the kind of naming word and doing word, you could say, well, they must be the same word and they must be verbs, doing words. Whether you go for a walk or you walk is the same thing. But actually in the first sentence you've got a verb, and in the second sentence Yeah, you can say it's the walk follows the yeah, so it's a noun. Yeah, just because of the distribution. And you could say the dog went for walks, and you can put an S at the end of it, making it more than one walk. Yeah, so although the word looks the same and in both cases expresses a kind of activity, in the first sentence we've got a word walk, which is a verb, and in the second sentence we've got a word walk, which is a noun. So what you've got is two different words. Yeah. So nouns are naming words, verbs are doing words. Forget these rules. Yeah, they are not good indicators of categories. Okay, now distribution. It's not just about nouns. We can do different tests, and different tests will give us different categories. So if you say he has lost ... book, yeah, what kind of word can go by? You could put the, and his, or my, or that, yeah, and because all those words go in the same place, it turns out they're all determiners. I saw we've already done that, a star, a book, a dog, yeah, so all those words must be nouns. John likes to ... quickly. Well, words like walk, eat, swim, yeah, verbs. All those words are verbs and they fit in that position. So that's how you can use distribution. Okay, now just to think for a moment, if you think about a word like fast, what kind of word is it? Is it one word, or are there two words fast, or three, or four, or five? Actually, there are four different words fast. And here we can see that with distribution, he broke his fast this morning. A fast, so it's noun. She will fast for a month. It follows will here, and that indicates it's a verb. The car is fast. It's following is here. You could say the fast car. That means it's an adjective. And she writes fast. Yeah. What we've got there is an adverb. Don't worry if you don't understand why it is at the moment. We'll go through all of those in the module, but what we see is that fast is actually four different words, depending on where they occur in a sentence. So, morphological and distributional evidence is far more reliable than meaning, so you should try that first. But even then, there may be exceptions. So, recognizing lexical categories is, a bit of an art, and you have to practice it. Okay, bye.